everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Anticipation is bouncing for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's the Lions going up against the Saints.
Thank you very much, Larry. As usual, the streets of the nearby French Quarter are alive as we are in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. First down at Stafford. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll bring up a second down. They find some open field here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Back to throw, Stafford. Ebron caught left side. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Third and long, it's Stafford. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
You remember Timmy Jernigan at Florida State. His stoutness that was so impressive there, it still comes into play in the NFL, doesn't it?
If you call stout 300 pounds, and I do, then yes.
Used it well on that play and made a nice tackle for a loss.
And the D looking like they may blitz.
All right, here we go.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So here we go, a third down after the second down pass completion.
Here we go now. Boom, landed. Good.
Now James, operating from the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Throw left side complete. That's Douglas. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make this a second down. Out of the gun, Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And now running right through it. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
No. Check, Patriot. Here we go now. 3-19. Shit. He's coming. Leopard.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And on 2nd and 10 now. To throw again. James. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the get now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world, when you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Sheldon Rankins forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On second down, here's Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
Big 20, big 20. On the ball, let's go.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play. And just like that, it's third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now a first down throw. Stafford. Flushed out right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a second down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Update now from a game going on in Pittsburgh. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. James on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're inviting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them sniffs this out, you're definitely in danger. And this time, it cost them 2 points.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And he's brought down, getting setting this one up to about the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Stafford. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Caught by Jones. Marvin Jones. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are in for 6. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in times, he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Fighting through. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
To throw is James on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. James now going to throw again. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Going for the deep ball. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
but it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. On 1st down, Stafford here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Here we go. Gun!
Now they'll run it on the toss. There he goes inside the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
This stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Here's James throwing on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
I think we need to come up with a different name for this position. We keep calling it the fullback position. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback, but we know this. Whoever's coming out of that spot is usually bigger and stronger, and they may not run away from people, but they'll run.
We saw it right there. They're in the second quarter at Heinz Field. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now James. Off play action. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe luck. There. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. Fourth down, James. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Lions will take over. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. To play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Second down and just 1. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Stafford on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw on second down, Stafford to the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. First down, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. A very solid gain of 27. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. Caught right side, Tate. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. From the gun, Stafford. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Golden Tate as the first half is winding down. And the Lions are in for 6. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. James on 1st and 10. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So we have reached, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
This is Logan. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Eight yards to go here on second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. Clean. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. No. Check. Patriot. Gone. Leopard.
Time running out here on the play clock.
Leopard.
They run again with Logan. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. To throw is James. From the gun, he'll throw. And he will find his man on the outside. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. James now operating from the gun. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Here's James on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
To throw on second down. Stafford looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Coleman. A big hit. Knocked down sideways at the 33. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. The Lions on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And Tate's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And to give this time to the tailback. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And some room to roam now. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Now he's flushed out left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Back to the air, Stafford on second down. And he comes back with one complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. It only took Stafford 90 games to hit 25,000 yards in his career, fastest ever, and he adds to that yardage total there.
I'm not sure anyone in the league has a more confident arm than Matthew Stafford does. He can wait until they're actually open before delivering, as opposed to anticipating them being open because of the strength of his arm, and he doesn't mind showing it off.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. Flush to his right. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. The Lions on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. A quick give to Coleman. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
Elsewhere, second half action at Heinz Field. And tack on some more points for the Steelers, extending their lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Looking to throw. James. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. 2nd down here.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now James. From the gun, he'll throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards that time for number 14. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Got some breathing room. And he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
The play clock's running down. The play clock getting low, so Sean Payton says, let's take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Let's go. Watch it now, Barney.
Well, now they'll try the end around. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. No. Check. Patriot.
Back to throw. James. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Logan. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
All right now. Lucky 56.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll need to get the play off quickly. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And the 13-year man puts it through. A fourth quarter score now from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing on 1st down. Stafford. Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, When they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Hurry up, here we go!
On the carry, it's Logan. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Getting late in the fourth now, Charles. 2-minute warning just around the corner.
Yeah, some teams just want to get to that spot, take a breath, and then come out and attack for the rest of the game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Saints. Pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Sheldon Rankins in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. On the give, this is Coleman, the fullback. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They needed 15. They got 16 and a first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for New Orleans, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.
it.